In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can do the assignment that's coming up to draw lines and curves on a canvas. I'm going to open up the Section 4 folder in the Course Resources folder and open up the demo. And the goal of this section is to create a line drawing or a stripes activity for our web app, for our mobile app. So I'm going to open the stripes.htm, the wacky wall stripes.htm file in Notepad. This is the one from the demo folder. I'm also going to open the one from the example folder. This is example 1. That's already got the completed code in it that we're going to copy and paste from. So I'm going to open both of these in Chrome. This is what the web page from the completed code looks like. And then let's open the demo version, which doesn't have anything done in it yet. And this is what it looks like. You'll notice that we still have the square and the circle from the previous activity, from the shapes activity. In the stripes activity, the completed version of the example, we have a straight line and a curved line down here. So let's just start by copying that code over. From the completed code, it's just 2 buttons, so we're not going to copy all the buttons. We'll copy these 2 buttons here, the straight line button and the curved line button, and paste them in to replace the buttons that we had with the shape buttons that were there. Save that. And also, since we're using lines instead of shapes, the example code looks a little bit different now. In the completed version, the functions up here at the top, it's the same logic that was used with the select square and select circle functions from the last activity, only now we've just changed the names. So we'll copy that over to replace these. And the name of the variable was straight, has been changed to straight. So we'll save that, and we should be able to now refresh this, and now they both look the same. Looks like our text is different, but that's not important for this demonstration. What we want to demonstrate is the code that is used to draw lines and curves. And let me just show you how the user sees this. When they come to this activity, the straight line is selected for them by default. And if they select one of the color swatches, it draws these lines. It actually draws 2 line segments. And if they select the curved, it draws these curved lines. These are called quadratic curves. So that's how it works in the completed example. Let's add some of the code from the example to our demo. So let's go to Notepad. So back here in the completed example, we can scroll down and find the code that draws these 2 line segments that are connected to each other. Right here under the Paint Magenta function. First of all, you'll notice that we're still using the same if-else logic that we used in the previous activity, only this time we're using the code to draw lines instead of shapes. And here are all the lines, of code that are needed to draw the types of lines that we draw in this activity. We did get a little fancy with this in picking a line join and a line cap command to style the lines. But the rest of these commands are pretty much necessary. The stroke style command is not necessary because the default would be black. If you want to have a different colored line than black, then you need to put in the stroke style command and assign a color to it that you want. Anyway, here are all the commands to draw these lines. Let's copy and go back over to the demo version of our file. Now we'll go to the Paint Magenta function inside the if statement, if the condition is true, it'll draw a straight line for us. And let's change the variable now to the variable that we're using in this case. If straight equals 1, then it'll draw the line segments that we have here. Oh, and I forgot to mention the way that these line segments work is these lines here, the first command, the move to command, is where the line starts. Then the line to command will draw from the starting point to this point. And then if you want to have another segment in the line, you just add another line to command and give it another XY coordinate, and it'll draw from this point to this point. And then with the stroke command, you complete the stroke, and the close path command closes the path. So let's test that. So I saved it, and now we're going to the demo version, and we'll refresh it. And we did this on the paint magenta function, so it should work here. And it does when we click the magenta color swatch. The other thing is the curved line. Let's go back and get the code for that and add that to our demo. And we'll just stick here with the paint magenta function since they're all essentially the same. In the else part of the if else statement, or in other words, if straight is not 1, then we'll run this code which draws the curved line. And again, we're using some styling commands in here, but the essential commands to draw a curve start right here. The move to command indicates where we want the line to start from, and then we have the quadratic curve to command, which has 4 parameters in it. The first 2 are the XY coordinates of the attractor, which is the point towards which the line will be curved. And then we have the XY coordinates for the end of the line. So the first 2 are the attractor coordinates. The second 2 are the XY coordinates for the end of the line. And then we have the other commands in here that you're already familiar with. Let's copy and paste those into here. We're not going to use a for loop anymore inside this one, so we'll just copy right over that. And save it, and then test it in our browser. So we have to refresh it and select the straight line, and it draws the straight line still. Select the curved line option, and now it draws the curved line. And this was the beginning point, this was the end point, and the attractor point is kind of an imaginary point out here that is, the line is being pulled towards that imaginary point. So those are the steps for how you complete the exercise to draw lines and curves.